March 18, 1987, 2:15 p.m. 26 men in pressed gray suits step out of a luxury bus parked along Mumbai's Opera House district. They walk in formation through the polished glass doors of TBZ Jewelers, the most prestigious gold showroom in the city. Their shoes click against the marble floor in unison. Their badges catch the light from the crystal chandeliers above. They are CBI officers. They have a search warrant. They have authority. The two security guards at the entrance see the badges, see the documents, see the calm authority in the leader's eyes, and step aside without a single question. Within 45 minutes, 3 million rupees of gold will vanish from the showroom display cases. Within 90 minutes, the leader of these officers will disappear into the chaos of Mumbai. Within 3 hours, the entire Mumbai police force will discover something that doesn't make sense. This is the biggest jewelry heist in Indian history. And not one of those 26 men, except their leader, knows they are committing a crime. Now think about that for a moment. If you robbed a jewelry vault using 26 honest, law-abiding cops as your accomplices, leaving 0 victims hurt, 0 fingerprints behind, and 26 men with airtight alibis, would you be a genius worth admiring or a monster worth hunting? And how exactly do you convince 26 strangers to commit the perfect crime without ever telling them they are criminals? To answer that, we have to go back one day, to a young man named Raj, sitting alone in a small apartment in Mumbai, reading the morning newspaper. Mumbai, the day before. Raj sits at a wooden table by the window. The Mumbai heat presses against the glass. On the table in front of him, a chipped cup of tea gone cold an hour ago, a single rupee coin balanced on its edge, and a wallet so thin it folds flat. He opens the wallet. 200 rupees. That's all. On the wall above him hangs a framed photograph. His father in a worn brown jacket, his mother in a fading green sari, both retired, both depending on a pension that no longer covers the rent. Beside the photograph, a small letter rests against the wall, the corner curling. It is from Priya, the woman he has been seeing in secret for 3 years. The letter is short. It says her father has begun meeting matchmakers this week. It says she is sorry. It says, please hurry. Every morning for 6 months, Raj has gone through the same ritual. Tea, newspaper, Times of India, the classified ads on page 7, where job listings stack up in narrow columns of tiny print. He has applied to 47 positions. Every one of them ended with a polite phone call that never came. Every one of them ended with another morning at this table. But this morning is different. His eyes drift down the column and stop on a small notice surrounded by black borders. Wanted. 50 dynamic graduates for the posts of intelligence officer and security officer with the Central Bureau of Investigation. Interview held on March 18, 1987, at the Taj Intercontinental Hotel, 11 a.m. sharp. Reference number ICR/87/03. Raj reads it twice. He reads it 3 times. A government job. The Central Bureau of Investigation. The closest thing in India to a guaranteed future. A real salary. A name that Priya's father would have to take seriously. There is something faintly familiar about the format. Months ago, maybe 5, he saw a similar advertisement in this same paper. Same hotel. Same kind of opening. He didn't apply then. He doesn't remember why. Maybe nerves. Maybe the rent was paid that month. Whatever the reason, he let it pass. He won't let this one pass. He folds the newspaper carefully along its crease. He takes out a small notebook and writes down the address. He underlines the time. He stares at the underline for a long moment. He has no idea he just signed up for the heist of the century. But why would the Central Bureau of Investigation hold an open recruitment drive at a luxury hotel? And what does a man named Mohan Singh need with 26 fresh graduates by tomorrow morning? Middle Towers, March 18th. Raj arrives at the Taj Intercontinental at exactly 11 a.m., wearing the only suit he owns. A small handwritten sign taped to the glass door redirects all interview candidates to a building 3 blocks away called Middle Towers. He walks the distance in the heat, his collar already damp. In the corridor outside the office, 150 men stand in a long line. Raj counts them slowly, 47 men ahead of him. He grips his folder tighter. He listens to the conversations around him. Some of these candidates already work for the government. Some of them have years of office experience. Some of them are dressed in suits far better than his own. This is not going to be easy. After almost an hour, his name is called. He walks into the office and meets the man who will change everything. Mohan Singh stands behind a polished desk. He is tall, broad through the shoulders, with sharp dark eyes that don't blink as much as they should. His voice is low and even, the voice of a man used to giving orders. There is no wedding ring on his finger. There are no personal items on the desk. Only a stack of files, a fountain pen, and a small Ashoka insignia paperweight. His questions come quickly, and they cut at strange angles. He doesn't ask about Raj's degree. He doesn't ask about his skills. He asks about Raj's family. He asks about his loyalty. He asks if Raj is willing to work hours that no normal job would demand. Raj answers everything, his hands sweating against the chair, his eyes locked on the insignia. Then it is over. Raj is told to wait outside. 30 minutes pass. Mohan Singh emerges into the corridor and reads 26 names from memory. He never once glances at the paper in his hand. Number 25. Raj. Raj's heart hammers against his ribs. The selected candidates are called back inside. Mohan Singh hands each man an official CBI identification card. The card has the Ashoka insignia, the man's full name, and the man's photograph already printed on the surface. Raj stares at the photograph. It is his face, the same face he wore in his college graduation photo. He never gave them a photograph. He never filled out a form requiring one. He doesn't think about this for long. Pride drowns the thought before it can finish forming. Mohan Singh stands at the front of the room. His voice fills the small office. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Taj Intercontinental. Get a good night's rest, gentlemen. Tomorrow will change your lives. Raj walks out of Middle Towers holding his CBI badge so tightly, his knuckles go pale. For the first time in his life, he carries a government identity card with his name printed on it. He thinks about Priya. He thinks about his father's pension. He thinks about every classified ad that led to nothing. Mohan Singh was right. Tomorrow would change his life. He just had no idea how. The Gold Control Act, 1968. To understand what is about to happen, you have to understand the law. In 1968, after a humiliating border conflict with China drained India's gold reserves, the Indian government passed the Gold Control Act. Citizens were no longer allowed to import gold. They were no longer allowed to own gold in the form of bars or coins. All gold had to be converted into jewelry. Licensed dealers were limited to 2 kilograms. Goldsmiths were restricted to 100 grams. Every gram had to be declared. The result was instant and predictable. A massive black market exploded across Mumbai. By 1987, between 30 and 70% of the gold circulating in the city was contraband. To control the chaos, the CBI ran constant raids on jewelry stores, checking for purity violations, hidden inventory, and unlicensed gold. By 1987, a CBI raid was so routine that no jeweler in Mumbai questioned one. They opened the safe. They handed over the samples. They signed the receipts. They waited for the documentation. Mohan Singh was counting on that. That same evening, in a small apartment somewhere in Mumbai, Mohan Singh sits alone at a wooden desk. A single yellow lamp burns above him. The desk is covered in carefully arranged objects. 26 freshly printed CBI identification cards, each one already laminated, waiting only for photographs. A small carved seal of the Ashoka insignia, cut by hand from hardwood. A list of 47 names that he had narrowed down weeks earlier. Each name annotated in tiny script. Family pressure, financial need, no government connections, easily influenced. On the wall behind him, pinned with thumbtacks, is a hand-drawn map of the TBZ Opera House branch. Every display case is numbered. Every camera position is marked. Every door is sketched with measurements. Beside the map, almost forgotten, hangs a yellowed page torn from the Times of India. The date in the corner reads, October 1986. Mohan Singh folds his papers. He turns off the lamp. The light dies. He has waited 5 months for tomorrow. But how do you walk 26 honest men into one of the most secure jewelry stores in Mumbai and walk back out with 3 million rupees of gold, without a single one of them realizing they helped you steal it? Opera House, 2:15 p.m. The luxury bus rolls to a stop along the Opera House district. The street outside is busy with afternoon traffic. The TBZ showroom rises above the sidewalk in cream-colored stone, its tall front windows glowing with chandelier light. Inside, the air smells of jasmine perfume and the soft polish of glass cabinets. A ceiling fan hums slowly above the gold displays. Raj steps off the bus second to last, his briefcase clutched in his right hand. He smooths his jacket. This is his first real assignment. He looks at the men around him, all of them young, all of them nervous, all of them proud. Mohan Singh walks at the front of the formation. He flashes his CBI badge at the two security guards stationed at the entrance. The guards see the badge. They see the 26 men in suits. They see the calm certainty in Mohan's eyes. They step back without a word. Inside the showroom, customers freeze mid-purchase. Sales staff stop counting receipts. Mohan Singh raises his voice, just enough to fill the room. This is an official CBI raid. No one is allowed to leave the premises until the inspection is complete. Please remain calm and cooperate fully. The owner, Pratap Zaveri, hurries from the back office. He is a heavy-set man in a starched white kurta, his face already turning red. Mohan presents the search warrant. Pratap reads it. He looks up at the 26 agents already spread across his showroom. He has no choice. He nods. Now watch what happens next, because every single action carries two meanings, one that Raj believes and one that the audience already knows. Mohan orders the security cameras turned off. Raj thinks, standard procedure to protect the investigation. The audience knows, erasing the evidence. Mohan orders all phones disconnected. Raj thinks, preventing leaked information. The audience knows, cutting off help. Mohan asks for the licensed revolver belonging to the owner. Raj thinks, routine safety. The audience knows, removing resistance. In the corner of the showroom, an elderly woman in a sari clutches her handbag to her chest. Raj walks over, his voice gentle and steady. "Madam, please stay calm. This will only take a few minutes. You are not in any trouble." She nods. She believes him. And the worst part is, Raj believes himself. Mohan distributes polythene bags, pre-printed with government seals. He instructs the recruits to collect samples from every display case for purity testing. Raj works with focused care. He labels each bag with neat handwriting. He counts the pieces aloud. Other recruits gather cash from the registers, recording amounts in notebooks. Mohan stands by the front window throughout, watching the street, never once touching the gold himself, never once letting his fingers brush the polythene. 45 minutes pass. The display cases are nearly empty. 26 briefcases sit zipped and stacked along the wall. Mohan walks over to Raj and places a hand on his shoulder. "You and one other recruit. Load the briefcases onto the bus. Quickly, carefully." Raj feels his chest swell with pride. He has been chosen for the most important task. He carries the briefcases out into the sunlight one at a time, stacking them in the luggage compartment of the bus. He counts each one, 26 total. Everyone accounted for. He couldn't have known it was the last task he would ever do for the CBI, because there was no CBI. 3:30 p.m. The bus pulls away. Mohan Singh gathers the 26 men in a half circle outside the showroom. The afternoon light catches the edges of his glasses. His voice is calm and unhurried, the voice of a man giving instructions he has given 100 times before. "I need to supervise another raid in the area, a coordinated operation. You will stay here. Make sure no one leaves this store. Make sure no one touches the remaining inventory. Make sure protocol is followed exactly. I will be back in 1 hour with the official receipts and documentation. Am I clear?" 26 voices answer at once. "Yes, sir." Raj nods firmly. He watches Mohan climb the bus steps. He watches the door fold closed behind him. He watches the bus ease into Mumbai traffic and merge with the river of cars heading towards central Mumbai. Raj checks his watch. 3:32 p.m. He turns to face the showroom doors. The customers are still inside. The owner is still inside. The cameras are still off. Everything is exactly as Mohan instructed. For the next hour, Raj does his job perfectly. At 4:30 p.m., he checks his watch again. Mohan is 30 minutes late. Raj tells himself another raid must be running long. Coordination takes time. He has read about this in the orientation papers. He breathes slowly. At 5 p.m., Pratap Zaveri approaches him carefully and asks, with the strained politeness of a man trying not to show fear, "When is your senior officer returning?" Raj smiles. Soon, sir. Please be patient. At 5:30 p.m., Pratap walks back into the showroom, picks up a phone that one of the agents has now reluctantly reconnected, and dials the Mumbai police himself. The dispatcher's voice comes through the receiver in clean, clipped Hindi. Raj cannot hear the words from across the room. He sees only Pratap's face. He sees the color drain from it, slowly, as if someone is pulling a curtain from the inside. Pratap lowers the receiver. He looks at Raj with an expression Raj will never forget for the rest of his life. The dispatcher had said the words very clearly. There are no CBI raids scheduled in Mumbai today. Raj feels the marble floor disappear beneath his feet. He looks down at the badge in his hand. The Ashoka insignia, his own face, his own name. The same name he wrote in his notebook yesterday, sitting at a wooden table by his apartment window. And it means nothing. But where is Mohan Singh? And how far can a man disappear in 90 minutes when he is carrying 3 million rupees of gold through the streets of Mumbai? 90 minutes later, sirens fill the Opera House district. 6 Mumbai police vans block the street. Officers pour through the front doors of TBZ with their weapons drawn. The lead investigator on the case is Inspector Arvind Dinkar, a stocky man in his 40s with a clipped mustache and tired eyes. A man who will one day rise to become Director General of Police for the entire state of Maharashtra. But on this evening, he is simply a confused officer, staring at 26 well-dressed young men who claim to be his colleagues. Raj is handcuffed against the showroom wall, along with the other 25 recruits. The charge is read out by an officer he has never met. You are under suspicion of conspiracy to commit grand larceny. Raj sits in the back of the police van as it pulls away from the showroom. The badge is still in his jacket pocket. He takes it out. He looks at it for a long time. His own face stares back. The Ashoka insignia, the name printed in clean black letters. For the first time in his life, he is holding a government identity card with his name on it. And for the first time in his life, he wants to tear it in half. He thinks about Priya. He thinks about her father reading tomorrow's newspaper. He thinks about every matchmaker in her family circle, hearing the words fake CBI agents and arrested in connection with jewelry heist. He closes his eyes and presses his head against the metal wall of the van. Raj is innocent, but innocence is not going to pay his rent. Innocence is not going to bring Priya back. In the next 72 hours, the Mumbai police chase every lead they have. Lead 1, Taj Intercontinental, room 415. The hotel staff confirm a tall man with glasses checked out at 3:30 p.m., asked the bellboy to call him a taxi, and left no fingerprints, no personal items, no luggage. The bellboy remembers nothing useful beyond the height and the glasses. Lead 2, the taxi driver. Officers track him down in a Mumbai garage. He confirms he drove a man matching the sketch to a residential suburb in North Mumbai called Vile Parle. He helped the man unload a number of briefcases at a quiet street corner. He received a generous tip. He never saw the man's face directly. The man kept his head turned. Lead 3, an auto rickshaw driver in Vile Parle. He remembers driving someone matching the description back into the heart of Mumbai roughly 30 minutes later. After that, the city swallowed him whole. 90 minutes after the heist, Mohan Singh simply disappeared. The investigation widens. Officers fly to Trivandrum, Kerala, the home address listed on the Taj Intercontinental's registration card. They arrest a man named George Augustine Fernandez, who matches the sketch. He is a small-time pickpocket with a history of shoplifting. They interrogate him for weeks. Witnesses fail to identify him. He is released. Dead end. Officers fly to Dubai, at the time, the largest black market in the world for stolen Indian gold. They visit jewelry traders. Cash-only transactions, no memories, no records, dead end. Officers interrogate every informant in Mumbai's underworld. Not a single criminal recognizes the operation. Nobody knows the man. Nobody knows the protocol. Dead end. For 2 months, Inspector Dinkar cannot sleep. The sketch sits on his desk. 5 feet 6 inches tall, dark complexion, glasses, calm, articulate voice. A man who knew CBI raid procedures by heart. A man who could forge documents indistinguishable from originals. A man who walked into Mumbai with 26 accomplices and walked out alone. Then a CBI archivist makes a phone call, and the entire investigation flips. because Mohan Singh hadn't shown up at the Taj Intercontinental for the first time on March 18th. He had been there before, 5 months earlier, October 1986, the rehearsal. The archivist describes a forgotten case file. October 1986, an identical advertisement had appeared in the Times of India. Same hotel, same kind of opening. 50 dynamic graduates wanted for CBI positions. 150 candidates had shown up at the Taj Intercontinental that morning. They had waited in the lobby for 2 hours. The interviewer never appeared. Eventually, the real CBI received a tip and sent agents to investigate. By the time they arrived, the candidates were drifting away in confusion. The agents questioned the hotel staff. They examined the guest registry. They wrote a brief report. Conclusion: failed recruitment scam. Case closed. But this was not a failed scam. This was a rehearsal. Mohan Singh had been sitting somewhere in that lobby 5 months earlier, watching everything. How long did the real CBI take to arrive? How many agents did they send? How did the hotel staff react under pressure? Where did the candidates wait, and where did they leave from? Which exits were watched, and which were not? He took notes. He went home. He waited 5 months. He refined every detail. And remember the small thing Raj noticed in the newspaper that morning. Reference number ICR/87/03. The format was familiar to him because he had glanced at the October 1986 ad as well. He didn't apply then. If he had, he would have stood in that empty lobby, waited 2 hours, gone home, and never lost his life. Now think about what Mohan Singh actually accomplished. 0 shots fired, 0 injuries. The customers walked out of the showroom unharmed. The owner kept his life and his store. The insurance company eventually covered most of the loss. The 26 accomplices had badges, witnesses, paperwork, and full alibis. The system protected them. Eventually, all 26 were cleared of wrongdoing and released. The only true victim, in pure financial terms, was an insurance company. Some called it the perfect crime. Others called it the perfect betrayal. 26 young men walked out of holding cells with their names already printed in newspapers under the headline, "Fake CBI Agents." Their photographs had been published. Their families had read the words. Their futures were not what they had been the morning before. Raj never married Priya. Her father heard the news on the radio before Raj was even released. The matchmaker arrived the following week. Within 3 months, she was engaged to someone else. Within a year, she was married. Raj eventually found work as a clerk in a small firm. He never wore a suit again. So which one was Mohan Singh? The genius or the monster? And here is the detail that finally breaks the mystery open. Throughout the entire raid, Mohan Singh never once touched the gold. He stood by the window the whole time. He let the 26 recruits handle every piece. Their fingerprints were on every bag. Their handwriting was on every label. The trail of physical evidence ran straight through them. He carried nothing back to the bus himself. He carried nothing into the taxi himself. He chose the briefcases the recruits had loaded for him. He hadn't memorized 26 names because he was efficient. He had memorized them because he had studied them for months. Whoever Mohan Singh was, he wasn't a thief. He was a craftsman. The gold was just material. So if it wasn't really about the money, what was it about? And where is Mohan Singh today? Mumbai, today. 3 years of investigation, hundreds of leads, dozens of suspects, 2 foreign trips, 43 informants questioned, 17 sketches printed and distributed across India. Every police district notified, every airport flagged, every train station watched for months. Case closed. Unsolved. Mohan Singh never resurfaces. There is no second heist. There is no copycat letter sent to a newspaper. There is no anonymous boast in a bar somewhere in Bangkok. There is no body washed up on a Mumbai beach. There is nothing. The man simply ceases to exist. The Mumbai police eventually settle on the only theory that fits. Mohan Singh either died quietly within months of the heist, or he became someone else completely, returned to his real name, took an ordinary job, paid his taxes, went home to his family every evening, and never so much as glanced at a piece of gold for the rest of his life. The most successful con artist in Indian history may have spent his remaining years as a tax-paying clerk in some small office somewhere, sitting beside men who had no idea who he was. Now, if you walk into a jewelry store in Mumbai today and try to buy 3 million rupees of gold, here is what happens. The clerk asks for your identification card, then your PAN card, then your address proof. Then they call corporate headquarters. Corporate calls your bank. Your bank calls you back to verify the transaction. The clerk waits with you. You wait with the clerk. 40 minutes pass before you are allowed to pay for anything. You will never know why. You will never know that in 1987, 26 young men in pressed gray suits walked into a store like this one and walked out with 3 million rupees of gold. You will never know their names: Raj, Rahul, Amir, 23 others. You will never know that one of them was a young graduate who was supposed to marry a woman named Priya. You will never know that he sat at a wooden table by an apartment window the morning before the heist and counted 200 rupees in his wallet. But every time you wait those 40 minutes at a jewelry store counter in Mumbai, you are paying tribute to a man who never existed. Mohan Singh built his entire heist on a single insight about human nature. People do not verify authority. They verify the signs of authority: a badge, a uniform, a confident voice, a formal document. Everything else, the human mind quietly fills in by itself. He used 26 accomplices because 26 accomplices made the lie look real. One man with a badge is a suspicious individual. 26 men with badges are an institution, which raises a question that should sit uncomfortably in your chest. How many badges have you trusted this week? How many uniforms? How many confident voices on the phone? How many official-looking documents handed to you by men in suits? And if one of them was a Mohan Singh, how exactly would you know the difference? In our next video, a man walked into the Pentagon for almost 2 years, using nothing but a clipboard, a confident smile, and an ID badge he printed himself. He ate at the cafeteria. He attended classified meetings. He shook hands with generals. He was never an employee. We will show you exactly how he did it.